We're eking out this lead and we'll be moving on to the next round of racing as we flick back down and see the next round going off.
You can see here at Henley Regatta we're firing off race after race, and there will be no stop for this over the next few days. We can guarantee adrenaline fueled racing, so be sure to tune in over the next few days to catch some of these scullers in action as we enter the finals and semi-finals of these events. The top right hand of your screen there, you see the girls from Sheffield University sculling to what they hope to be an easy victory over their opposition, hoping to conserve that energy in the legs for the later stages of this competition.
And we can bring you the results from the aspirational lightweight scullers. In race number 72, we've got Bristol City, Cheeson, if hopefully we're saying that right, who won by over a length and a half over Greenbank. Race number 73, Haynes of Cardiff University fought a very tight race with Fuller of Thames Rowing Club, but won by a canvas. That was a win for Cardiff. Race 74, Bristol City won by a boat and a half length over Wallingford. That was Fullman winning over Slater there. And race number 75, Rosenwalder from Cardiff University had a very easy win over Harris from Cambridge University Women's Boat Club.
So back on the course now, we see Oxford City and Twickenham go head to head in another round of the aspirational double sculls for the Rosie May Goffling Trophy, one of several double sculls events at this year's regatta.
As they pass us here, it's pretty close between these crews. City of Oxford just straying over towards the Twickenham crew. Umpire Sinead Hayes there keeping a close eye on them, hasn't reached for the flag just yet. That Oxford crew are, for my money, just coming off their station. We need to think about just drifting back over towards the boom there so they avoid getting the warning from the umpire.
It's a game of psychology here, often at Henley Women's Regatta and enjoyed later on at Henley Royal Regatta. There are no preset defined rules as to where exactly on the course you can be, and it's up to the umpiring crews to work out between themselves where their best line of racing is so they don't impede the other crew. But as we can see here, I believe Twickenham have just opened up a slight advantage over their opposition from Oxford City, which is quite interesting to see, especially as it was so tight as they passed us only a few moments ago.
That's great, yeah. You can see Twickenham clearly had a bit burst there as they come into the enclosures. I'm sure that would have been a pre-planned move. And if anything, they actually just drifted over to the middle also, just to give City of Oxford a taste of their own medicine, send some puddles down, let them know that this race is still on. And actually, I'd say they're starting to move away from this Oxford crew.
Yeah, they're looking very comfortable there. You can see it in their faces, even though they're pressing hard. We've said it so many times, we'll say it again. When it's done right, it looks easy, and these girls are the perfect demonstration of that. We can see them there looking very, very comfortable. That fantastic drone shot just sees them sending those puddles down, just showing their opposition from City of Oxford just who's boss in this race. So a strange move there back onto their station, just to make sure they never impede their opposition.
That's it. You could see the umpire there had the flag out as Twickenham were drifting over pretty far, I'd say, well over halfway across onto the City of Oxford station. So the umpire's flag came out, pushed them back over. They didn't have a big enough lead to be able to go down the middle of the course. So they're back on station, but looking very smooth and relaxed now, in control of this race, and they'll be thinking about moving on to the next round tomorrow.
Lovely crew to watch there, the Twickenham crew in the top right hand, really, really smooth style, really comfortable with their blade work, and more importantly in a regatta situation, comfortable with their position ahead of their opposition.
And we've got two more races in this particular category of the aspirational double sculls for you, ready to go in a moment. We've got Molesey against Warwick, to be followed by Ipswich and Sudbury Rowing Clubs versus Clydesdale. And after that, we've got some championship double sculls coming up.
So we can just see the tail end of that Twickenham versus City of Oxford race in our top right hand as we drift back down to the bottom left of our screens here to see Molesey Boat Club against Warwick Boat Club in this race number 78 of this afternoon.
Indeed, they've just started. So we've got Molesey Boat Club B crew there going up against Warwick. They've just passed the end of Temple Island.
Molesey Boat Club, of course, one of the more famous clubs here in the UK, producing many fantastic athletes that go on, many of whom will be international representation. Mo Sabihi is a name that's often thrown around in the international rowing community. He loved to row at Molesey Boat Club, and the girls that are rowing down here seem to be following in his footsteps today, as they only produce a fantastic effort that looks to rival him. Despite that, however, Warwick Boat Club just seem to be edging out ahead of them. The nice strong stroke there. You can see the bow and the backs of the two girls there from crew number 236 as they look to make a nice strong lead over the infamous crew from Molesey.
That's it. The girls from Warwick, they had a great start, absolutely leapt out from the blocks. I think possibly caught the Molesey crew slightly napping as they came off the end of the island. But now passing us for anything, I think the Molesey crew now have regained their composure and seem to be moving back through. You see the rate slightly dropping on that Warwick boat. And the Molesey crew looking very contained and relaxed, aggressive rowing, particularly in the stroke seat of the Molesey crew there. And I'd say it looks like Molesey are going to take the lead back as we move towards the enclosures.
It does. We saw this earlier with some of the American crews, and Molesey seem to be doing the same thing. Despite having the opposition lead out for them on the start, they come back later in the race. They have those tanks of energy left in them. They haven't quite burnt them up yet, and they use them against their opposition when they're at their weakest, coming into the regatta enclosure, feeding off that wall of sound that we get from their supporters as they push down towards the finish line.
That's it. You can see Molesey just starting to edge through now. Interesting, they went through the wash there from one of the pleasure boats. That can often be a real advantage. If you know it's coming, if you can spy it over your shoulder, that can be the moment to push, catch the opposition napping in that rough water and make your move. And that Molesey crew now really are just keeping that nice length of stroke and just starting to move through this Warwick crew.
Well, that Molesey crew definitely seem to have woken up from their nap that they had earlier off the start after they were taken by surprise. You can see there, looking quite comfortable as they rode past their opposition. A call there from the stroke girl there, just encouraging her partner in the bows just to push those puddles down against their opposition, just to come through to a nice clean win.
That's it. It's got to be one of the hardest things in this sport is getting rowed down. It just feels awful. You're already gunning it at 100%, and to see a crew from behind start coming up and gradually taking the lead, it takes real mental strength to dig in and be able to scrap with them and to hang on to them. And that Warwick crew are having to dig deep now to hang on to this Molesey crew.
Especially an event like Henley. Any of the Henley events, in fact, where you have two crews side by side, it really is that gladiatorial one-on-one style. There's no escaping it. There are no first and second places at Henley Regatta. There's only win and lose. At the minute, it looks like Molesey Boat Club will be in it to win it.
That's it. Phil's going to be happy with this. One of his 13 or 14 odd crews today were down off the start, but have managed to bring it back for the win, hopefully. Leading by the moment just about clear water from the crew from Warwick. And again, still looking like that quite racy rhythm, but long, in control, and hopefully moving towards the next round.
Really vocal crew there in the Molesey boat, keeping the stroke girl shout encouragement and instructions to her partner at bow. There's often one in the boat that will take the lead and shout instructions to execute the race plan. As you say, Molesey have about 14 crews down here today. Each of them will have their own specific race plan designed to help them win as many stages of this competition as possible. Fantastic views there of the boat as it goes down. The umpire's flag raising slightly there, just warning the crews to move apart. The last thing we'd want is any sort of controversy surrounding whether or not crews are impeding another's line of racing.
That's it. I think the Molesey crew probably got slightly carried away there. Thought they had enough of a lead that they could start moving over and just start sending some of those puddles down to Warwick, but the umpire wasn't happy with that. Got them back onto station. That will have cost them a bit of speed weaving around the course, but they look like they're still on track for the win, although Warwick hanging with them now. I wouldn't say this is fully finished just yet.
We've seen this again and again, especially in the smaller boats. Just because crew leads out off the start, their opposition often come back.
And race number 79 has just got underway. We've got Ipswich and Sudbury Boat Club on the Berkshire Bank against Clydesdale on the Bucks Bank.
So Ipswich and Sudbury on the nearest to our camera at the minute. A composite crew, We've seen it a few times so far today, these composite crews, and they often come and take their opposition by surprise, as I think we see unfolding here. They often come together, they often bring together technical prowess and mental and physical strength that allows them to create a truly formidable combination.
So yeah, the Ipswich crew, slight issue with the steering there off the start. They went fairly close to the booms and then slightly overcorrected, coming back over to their opposition. But they seem to be back on track now, and with a great rhythm. They're really letting the boat run on. They can maintain that and move away. They're going to be conserving a lot of energy for the second half of this race and the preceding rounds in this event. Great to see from them.
So they're just passing the quarter-mile mark now with the composite crew from Ipswich and Sudbury Rowing Club just edging out their lead over their opposition. Fantastic view there of the two crews coming down. You can see just what it takes to row out to Temple Island. So here we are again, back watching the bows of number 260 and 238 in this, the aspirational double sculls between Ipswich Rowing Club, Sudbury Rowing Club Composite and Clydesdale Amateur Rowing Club on the Buckinghamshire station, farthest away from us now. As they just passed the commentary point here, you've probably got a good length, 2 lengths between these crews, plenty of clear water as that composite just edges out. Fantastic shot there, you can see sunglasses hiding the eyes, hiding the pain. A little smile there from the bow girl, in fact, just watching their opposition fade into the background. Really, really enjoying their time here at Henley with this regatta.
That's it. You can see the composite crew there really underrating the opposition. And it's just so important to be able to do that and still move away. It's the nirvana of rowing. It's what we're all striving for when we're racing. They've drifted slightly off their station there, but no worries, don't seem to be impeding of the crew, and the umpire doesn't seem too worried either. I've no doubt that they've got plenty in reserves now should they need to move up the gears. And you can see from the drone shot there, it's a decent margin opening up. And we expect to see them racing here tomorrow again, I would have thought.
We definitely do. Fantastic combination, and as we said earlier, these drone shots offer a fantastic insight into the regatta itself and the beautiful Oxfordshire countryside that surrounds the regatta course.
Interesting there, the composite crew really taking the rate down, and I mean this race is a long way from done. That's confident sculling, shall we say. And if the crew from Clydesdale can maybe get a sniff of this and start pushing the rate right up, then may be able to get back into the race here. But that is supremely confident sculling. No doubt they've got one eye on their opposition crews watching them from the enclosures. And they're making a statement not only with the result, but with the style of rowing here.
You see there the composite crew, they're just taking their rate down, really allowing that boat to run like we said earlier. You can see how long they take between each stroke, just demonstrating how strong they are as a combination despite rowing from different clubs. And you can see there they're just super confident in their position and incredibly dominant over their opposition.
That's it, looks like they're going for a paddle.
It does. They look very, very comfortable there. The geese, they're not phased at all by what is some fantastic racing going on here. They do look incredibly happy there. And the main focus now will be conserving energy for what promises to be over the next few days some really heated, dramatic and adrenaline-fueled races from not only these aspirational doubles, but also from other categories, ranging right from the elites down to the developments. Back into the championship events, I do believe, for the double sculls.
Yes, and we've got race number 80 that's just got underway. We've got Nottinghamshire University on the Berkshire Bank and Upper Thames Rowing Club on the Bucks Bank.
You can see there between these two crews, two big names. Upper Thames, local boys and girls around here, number 198. And against them, 203 Nottingham University, the powerhouse of not quite the north, but up that way.
The Midlands.
The Midlands.
Let's
Powerhouse
go
of
to
the Midlands.
That's it. Interesting to see at the end of the island there, the crew from Nottingham really did open up clear water within the first couple hundred metres, which is great to see. And you can see really high rate as well from the girls from Nottingham there. They just adjust their steering slightly. Be interesting to see if they can hang on to that for the second half of this race. You know, you will pay for that at some point. So hopefully the plan for the girls is to get a big enough lead that they can start bringing that rate down and control the race. But that's a brave tactic against this crew from Upper Thames who will know this course like the back of their hands. And passing us here in the commentary booth, that Nottingham University crew, look to me, like they're racing like it's the final.
That is a ferocious rate there. I wouldn't expect to see that quite this early in the competition. It is only Friday afternoon, and ideally Nottingham will want to race on Sunday afternoon. Whether they'll have the energy to do that after such a storming effort is yet to be seen, but as we see from this fantastic drone shot here, they have just opened up clear water, and that technique is clearly paying dividends. As they enter the regatta enclosure, we expect to see them drop down a few pips of their rates. Will they? Who knows? They look like a complete machine going along this course today.
Absolutely, and yeah, you'd hope they now, the bow person or whoever's steering that boat, making the calls in the boat, we would say, look, we've got this, let's take it down a couple of pips, keep the power on the legs, and just control it from here. But it doesn't seem to be happening at the moment. They seem to be still on that rate and pushing away. Now, if you're in that Upper Thames boat, you're thinking, listen, we've still got this. If we keep our heads and start turning the wick up all the way to the finish line, we'll have a chance here. But at the moment,
it's always interesting to imagine what these girls are experiencing, either when they're out front or dropping right back behind. It's easily one of the hardest positions to be in rowing, is when you're dropped down, you can't see your opposition. All you can see is the umpire's launch staring you down. No idea how far you are behind your opposition. And that's something Nottingham University will not be experiencing here, as they are clearly up and above their competition. Really smooth rowing down here. Still quite a high rate, but they look a little more relaxed than they did as they absolutely charged past us earlier.
That's it. It's such a benefit. When you've got that lead, you're watching the opposition, you can react to their pushes, you can send down the odd puddle just to remind them you're in front. But equally, you've got to be careful. There's also the worst feeling is being in front and seeing someone coming back through, and sometimes it can feel like there's nothing you can do about it as you're working as hard as possible. But at the moment, this Nottingham University crew look like they've just taken the rate down by a pip. Also, not by much.
Definitely not by much. They are still racing this like it's Sunday afternoon. See the grimace on the bow girl there. I'm not quite sure their race tactic here, whether it's just to completely unnerve their opposition, is yet to be seen. If so, they're definitely doing a good job of it. Looks like a formidable pairing if they come down.
Okay, we've got some results from the aspirational double sculls. Sheffield City in race number 76 beat Notts Uni by 2 lengths. In race number 77, Oxford, just checking, wrong, Twickenham beat Oxford by 3.5 lengths. Race number 78, Molesey B had a win over Warwick of 1 3/4 lengths. And in race number 75, the composite crew of Ipswich and Sudbury had a 1.5 boat length lead at the end over Clydesdale.
You see there are fantastic shots from water level of the girls from Nottingham as they aim to beat their rivals from Upper Thames Rowing Club. Upper Thames, of course, knowing the course really well down this stretch of river, but it seems to be no match for the girls from Nottingham, who are going hell for leather to absolutely win this heat of the championship double sculls.
Now, it looks to me clearly Nottingham still leading, but not by as much as they were. And I think that Upper Thames crew may have something left for the last little bit of this race. Let's see if they can get that rate up and get back on terms, but I'm not sure this is quite as straightforward as it may have been at the start. Oh, as we say that, they've won.
So after a few minutes break here, after what was an incredibly dramatic race between Nottingham University and Upper Thames, we've got a couple of minutes break for you to gather your breath after what I'm sure was a really gripping episode of rowing back there. After that, we have a set of development coxed fours, including clubs such as Vesta Rowing Club and Lee Rowing Club. After that, we have some more aspirational double sculls with some fantastic races, such as the first one, which looks to be a real scorcher between Tideway Scholars School and Wallingford Rowing Club, and that will close the day. After which, you will still be able to watch the time trials for the Junior 16 events, which will be the Quadruple Sculls and the Coxed Fours here at Henley Women's Regatta, which should close by about 7:20 this evening.